Live from the studio of his parents' basement, the Have You Seen It podcast.
Hello and welcome back to the Have You Seen It podcast. My name is Mason Knight. Sitting across from me is the one and only Cash Krause. But before we begin, if you guys could please be sure to smash that like button, comment below, subscribe to the channel, and hit that bell notification as we drop videos here every single day. So with that said, Cash, what are we reviewing today?
Today, we are reviewing a new movie that just released to theaters. Belfast. Not a huge movie, for sure. Not a blockbuster film, I would say.
I don't think, not a film a lot of people even knew about.
We can say that. I mean, that's a little harsh, but very true. We were debating this one. It was kind of a weird week because both of the films that we were even going to pick were both UK films. Mm-hmm. Just happened to be. But it was between Belfast and Spencer, which are both getting around the same reviews. Spencer's getting the buzz because they're talking about Oscar nomination.
Kristen Stewart.
For K-Stew, of course.
Kirsten Stewart.
But, yeah.
Kristen Stewart, I don't know why he said that. Kristen Stewart.
I didn't even realize. I would have kept rolling if you didn't say anything. But, yeah, but I could give less about the fucking royal family, you know?
Yeah, I don't know anything about
I
them.
could care. I mean, I do not understand it's just celebrity worship, which is what anyone does, but I'll see it no matter what. But Belfast was more interesting to me because it dealt with more blue collar problems and more of like IRA and Irish terrorism and stuff, which just seemed a lot more fucking interesting to me.
Right. And Judi Dench, you can't go wrong.
Dame Judi Dench, who's damn near unrecognizable in this role.
Yeah, absolutely. Did she? Now, no
they
disrespect.
They fooped her up a little bit.
That's what I was going to say. No
sure.
Disrespect to the great Judi Dench, but did she put on weight for this?
I think they fooped her up.
They did?
Yeah. Gave her a little something, a little tire, a little spare tire around the hips.
Yeah, around the hips,
sure.
yeah.
But she's fucking great in this, dude.
She really is.
Everyone is. I loved this film. I'll just come out and say it. I really fucking enjoyed this film. Yeah. It's going to make my top 10. Right after I saw it, I messaged you and I said, the top 10 list is going to be difficult this year.
It will be.
Because there's been so many good ones. But I just thought this film was wonderful. That's my word to describe it. Wonderful. It ended up being not large scoping like I thought it was going to be. It literally was so much smaller. Yeah, and it dealt with one street. Yeah. Just literally, it did a big picture. Literally just the focus on this one street in Belfast, Northern Ireland, 1969, a time known as the Troubles. Which it was. That's a polite way of saying it was little troubling times.
Well,
neighbors were killing neighbors.
Yeah. It was a
civil war.
Time, yeah.
But
that's
horrible time.
That's what this film captured brilliantly, was that sense of generational families who have literally since the time of birth until the time they die have lived in Belfast and have never changed, and they have kids and they have grandkids, and everyone knows everyone on this road, you know, or on in these houses, these small little complexes. And it really brought that true sense of like how important family was in those little areas.
Well, and
community. And
the fact that, like you said, they lived here for so long. This is their home, and now they're being literally forced to leave because of, you know, the plights of men, of the guys in charge. You know, it was, of course, a religious thing, you know, Protestants against Catholics. That's how it's always, the war has always been in Ireland and England. But yeah, man, it was heartbreaking to see that. Like, they have no choice but to leave. One, unemployment. Of course, anytime during a civil war, unemployment goes way up. So everyone had to leave to go find work. You know, Belfast is mostly like they build ships. It's where the Titanic was built. But there's no work. There was no work then. So they all of the men had to leave for weeks at a time. Why a war was raging on at their home. So it was incredibly hard for the men to leave. I mean, how could you leave knowing every day that your family could be wiped out? It'd be fucking extremely difficult.
This was based on the true story of Kenneth Branagh's, the director's childhood.
He's a famous actor. He's in a ton of fucking movies. If you clicked on his name, you would know. He's he probably has like 200 different film roles, but he was He was the detective on the murder of the Oriental Express.
Yep.
He's a well-known Irish actor.
Yep.
But yeah, this was like a semi-autobiographical film about his life.
Dunkirk as well.
Of course, yeah. Yeah, he's in a ton of stuff. You know, the face
No,
is
he's super recognizable.
So recognizable, yeah. But he did a fucking fantastic job. He's directed before, but this has got to be his best film, I think.
Well, in not just the direction of the film, literally, but also the cinematography.
The black and white.
Phenomenal. Well, and the use of
Beautiful.
reflection, too.
In the close-ups, you get so many shots of just right in people's faces as they go through this emotion of all the emotions. Like, there were scenes even where it kind of broke the rule where someone else would be talking in the background, but the camera wouldn't switch to whoever's talking. It would just stay on, like, the main kid, you know, the director is supposed to be. It would just focus on him as his parents are talking in the background. I thought it did an amazing job of encapsulating what it felt like to be as a kid, where you really you're being pushed and pulled in all these ways, and you have really no say in what's going on. But yeah, I thought the camera work was amazing. The use in black and white is like hit and miss for me 50% of the time, but when it's used right, it can be fucking powerful. And they did a great thing where some scenes had a little bit of color in it.
When they went to the movie theater.
Love that.
Yeah.
Love when they went to the movie theater, and also when they went to the Christmas Carol as well. That little tiny use of color made all those scenes a lot more powerful. Like it could have been easily heavily used, the color, but it was used very sparingly, and it's perfect.
We got to talk about the main actor in this, Jude Hill. He played Buddy, obviously, the child. He was 9 years old at the time of filming this.
You don't question at all that this is not a real family.
Exactly.
It is astonishing how good the chemistry is between these two.
It's why I couldn't fucking believe it, because that's, again, when I say it captured that family element, I felt like I was literally watching a family in 1969 in Belfast.
Yeah.
Dealing with real problems. Like, they did such a phenomenal job of taking the audience there.
Well, and they did such a phenomenal job of writing a kid like a kid. You know, clearly the director, he clearly has a very good understanding and remembering of what it was to be like a kid, because we get it all from his perspective. But I mean, it does not feel like a 40-year-old wrote the script. It felt like the 9-year-old wrote it for himself. Like, it felt so real, especially those scenes when, like, he does something bad, and then you get, like, the close-up and, like, the ringing in his ears. I've been there a million times when you do something and you know you're right about. Exactly.
You're in big trouble.
And it feels like the world is collapsing in on you. There's those scenes when he does something really bad. And the editing is really good in this film, too, because it would go in the next scene would be his mom
chasing him.
I'm going to kill you.
He's running up the stairs trying to get away from her.
Those scenes, man, like I said, it made it feel like that 9-year-old wrote that role for himself. Like, it felt so fucking real. And just the unknowingness of being a kid and not knowing where you're going to be the next day and whatnot.
Also, the innocence of falling in love, too. I love those, because, like, he would work hard to be in school just so he could sit right next to her as 1 and 2. He finally gets that opportunity to be number 2, and then she's number 3, so she's directly behind him. But those scenes were great. Like, I love that. I mean, you don't call it a romance, because it's like a child, like, innocence, you know, like, oh, I'm going to marry her one day. But I don't know. I really enjoyed that, because that's how kids are at that age, too. You know, it's very, they have such a bright look on the world, and they just think everything's going to work out in the end, despite all this chaos going
on. And I remember
around.
that super well, too, you know, having a crush in class, and then, like, I don't know, the next year being in a different class and it being fucking heartbreaking, you know, even though you never even told this girl how you felt or anything. But then it was so the heartbreakingness of him getting closer to that girl and then them having to move away and whatnot. It's a realistic issue, but then in the background, it's also this war going on that puts another level of intensity in this film for sure. You almost forget at times that there's a civil war going on, with just how, like, human the drama is within the family. With him, like, learning his math and stuff.
And
all
I
great
love those
scenes. His
God,
grandpa.
we have to talk about that.
His grandpa,
and grandma, man.
Yeah, Karen Hines, who plays his grandpa.
Yeah.
Who is also in a ton of stuff. He's in Harry Potter, one of the Harry Potters I remember.
Yeah.
But he's fucking fantastic in this.
Phenomenal
Pop.
work. Yeah. And that's a thing.
Best grandparents in the world.
Yeah, we keep going back to it, but I really felt like this was a family.
Yeah.
And we know Judi Dench. We know she's an actress. But, like, it felt like family, man. And, those scenes were powerful. And, like, just watching that, like, I remember the conversations I had with my grandpa before he passed away when I was young like that. And how influential he was on my life. Like, just with the little things, If it's about math or if it's about,
the ones, like sevens. And
yeah, exactly.
I love
like those
that.
funny little, things. Like, I put a smile on my face in the theater for sure.
Yeah, I could go through this cast list and say something phenomenal about each and every one of them. Caitríona Balfe, who plays the mom in this, who bears the weight of most of the scenes for sure, man. She is, not only is she drop dead fucking beautiful, but I think she pulls the most weight as much as the acting chops for sure. She cries in a lot of scenes because you get the feeling in this film that she has most of the weight on her shoulders with raising these kids.
Does.
And they have that amazing scene where he thanks her for raising the kids on her own. And it's very powerful. But, yeah, and just the relationship between her and the husband is so realistic, too. It just felt so real of her constantly hanging the phone up. Even when he knows it every time that she's about to hang up the phone, yeah.
But that's the pressure, that's the stress of like what these people had to go through in this time. Like, imagine being away from your significant other and raising children on your own, but knowing that that's what he has to do to find work.
So most blue collar families have to. Even today, it's what they have to fucking do.
And so it's like it's trying to not build up that resentment while also having understanding, while also being disappointed. Like, there's so many emotions surrounding that, and I thought they did a good job of kind of like outlaying that for the audience.
You could definitely tell the complexity of emotions that they're all feeling. Like obviously they love the dad, but you almost felt like there was a distant relation there because he's gone all the time. Obviously the kids felt much closer to the mom than they did the dad. They all love the dad. Dad was wonderful and whatnot, but of course you can only be so great of a dad only being there 2 days out of the month. You can be the greatest dad in the world and still be extremely distant because of that. So you definitely felt that in the film, and that's a hard thing to convey without coming out and saying it. But yeah, they did a fantastic job of that. Really good job. And like, to go back to the mom, that scene at the end when he steals the laundry detergent and she brings him back. It's a brutal fucking scene, and then she's screaming at him and put that back. If you ever steal something again, I will kill you. Just saying that, it's a powerful fucking scene.
It is, and I'm not going to lie, that second time around, I want to go to the Turkish Delight scene because that scene was hilarious. Yeah. That's all you took was a Turkish Delight?
That's the thing of the ringing in the ears when the cop knocks and he knows he's...
And he goes, a serious crime has been committed.
Yeah, obviously not a big deal.
You know? And it's sitting, and he's just sitting in the chair, and you can just hear the ring, and then it cut to, well, have a good day.
Yeah, that was a good edit.
It wasn't a big deal, really. But he was like acting like it was the most severe crime ever to scare the kid. Yeah. I loved it.
Because it was like, again, we keep going back, but it was the close-knit community of everyone knew everyone, and the cops and everyone. But yeah, then the next scene, her chasing him up. I didn't even eat it. That girl was trouble, man.
She was trouble. And I got to be honest, when that shit happened and that all went down and the riots were taking place, I thought for sure, with the way this kind of was like that drama type film, I thought for sure the kid was going to die. I really did. And I'm glad they didn't. I am actually glad they didn't take that route because I enjoyed the film more with the ending with Judi Dench, with Pa dying.
Yeah, and I think that's just our cynical minds. Because the whole time, every time I see a car in this film or anything, I was waiting for the big explosion. Yeah. Like just something to absolutely rock, their even quaint life or whatever, something to even really hurt them. Like whenever anyone got on a bus or anything, I thought, oh, fuck, that bus is going to blow up. But it wasn't like that. It's not that kind of, there is a car explosion. You got to have that.
Which was pretty cool. But then they use that car as a barricade.
Yeah, and it worked out for him. Hey. Not the guy who owned the car.
No.
He ended up getting
now
no
he
part.
just doesn't have a car.
And he sees it every day. Like, oh, all right, is someone going to buy me a new car? But yeah, all those scenes were fucking fantastic. But like I was saying, is like I was just waiting for something tragic to happen, and it never did. You know, It's not that kind of movie. Again, the movie felt very fucking small, even though there was larger underlining issues happening. You know, the entire country was at fucking war. But yeah, I love that they kept it small the whole time. I love the soundtrack. Though it was so funny. The whole time listening to the movie, I was like, man, Ireland, 1960s.
No bagpipes?
I'm like, where's the Van Morrison? I mean, there's got to be Van Morrison. He's the biggest fucking Irish star ever. Yeah. I go look at the Wikipedia page, score and soundtrack done by Van Morrison. So, yeah, the score the score was fantastic, obviously, because you had a musical genius, and there is a Van Morrison song at the end credits.
It was one he was singing, right?
Yeah, for sure. He's got so many fucking hits.
I forget that song, but it's a popular song.
He's got a lot of hits. Brown Eyed Girl is probably his most popular, but he's fucking great. But yeah, the score was amazing. The cinematography was amazing.
Yeah, it was breathtaking at times too. And again, those reflection shots, I loved, as you said, the close-ups, but especially on that final scene of the film where you saw the reflection in color.
Yeah,
I really like that. That was super unique that you don't see very often, especially in a black and white film. But I love that close up with Judi Dench, and she said, "Go, leave.
I know.
Go live a happy life." And it's just like it's sad.
It was so brutal because and from knowing history, it only got worse from there. They got out at a seemingly good
right time.
Exactly, because up until the 90s. I mean, it's crazy because you still have IRA. I mean, living in Ireland. I mean, guys that were blowing up cars or whatever are still walking around, the streets and whatnot. Did not happen that long ago, and it lasted a really fucking long time. And there's still problems today. But
well, yeah,
we saw The Irishman.
We did see The Irishman.
Or what's the other one with Jackie Chan? The Foreigner.
The Foreigner.
Remember, his daughter gets blown up in an IRA, and that's today times. That's not too far off. So it's just a crazy thing, man. It's and all for fucking religion. Wild.
It's the Protestants and the Catholics.
They hated the Catholics
like
because they could just go confess and they'd be fine.
They'd be,
Some of the best editing in this film was like they're talking about the Catholics because the main family is Protestant. But they're like, yeah, Catholics, that's just a religion of fear. And immediately cut
to the
Protestants will die.
You have two paths. One is the road to heaven.
Every religion is just a fucking religion of fear. So it's like, yeah. So, and that gave weight to like, why are they even fucking fighting? It's just fucking wild. But yeah, I loved the Irish priest. This was very intense.
It was fun. Yeah. It was a good edit. I will say, and the cinematography and the actor, whoever played that role, I don't know his name, but he crushed it. He crushed it as the priest.
Probably my favorite scene, though. I'll talk about this. My favorite scene is right after Pop died. It's a very sad scene, and then they have a funeral for him, and then of course the Irish, they know how to fucking celebrate a life. Is they get that big party or whatever, and the dad sings for the mom or whatever. That was my favorite scene.
You actually got to see them have fun. You actually got to see a lighter side
for
to
just
the chaos of the marriage.
Second of in between houses being burned down and unemployment or whatever. You got one little instant of calm and peace, and it was my favorite scene too. When the dad sings and they dance, it's a great fucking scene. It was heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking to see Pop die and know that they had to leave fucking Dame Judi Dench by herself.
Well, she wanted to stay there. That's where she was raised.
Yeah,
they talked about it in the film that Pa and Mom met each other when they were in kindergarten class.
Yeah,
that's where they grew up. That was their home, and she was not going to leave.
Yeah,
couldn't leave.
And they understood, of course, that they had to go. That family had to go.
Pop says it was only going to get worse.
Exactly.
They would have killed the father.
Yeah, there's a great scene when he's like on his deathbed, basically, and he's like, "Of course you got to go." They want to go to Australia, which is it's the dream for everyone.
That's a long-ass time away, though. Holy shit.
I know, and at one point
like
in the film, he's like, it's just like a hop away.
Yeah.
No, 10,000 miles.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah. Just a hop.
Yeah.
And in those days, dude, plane tickets were even more fucking. No one would be able to go to Australia to visit you.
No.
And then that, I mean,
You'd
they're
have
all
to take a ship.
Yeah. You'd have to build the ship, then fucking take it. Yeah, which is, all those scenes were super fucking powerful. But that scene at the very end of her telling him to go, and then the lines, all the dialogue was great, with especially that line that the Irish were made for leaving. That was a great fucking line. Yeah.
With her friend, right? When they're playing basketball.
Yeah.
Yep.
Brutal. A rough time those Irish have had.
Yeah, it hasn't been good. You know, they dealt with a lot of shit too, coming over to the United States in the 20s and 30s
Oh my
as well,
god, yeah,
so.
yep. Yeah, they've had a rough go. Everyone's got enough reason to hate England, though. But
Yeah, Paul was a real philosopher, though, because like he was talking about as far as like racism towards the Irish, which I don't know if you can call it that, but I think it is. We'll go with that. But he says, if they can't understand you, they're not listening, right? Because he says life is going to be hard with your accent. This
that's what they were. Well, that was the kid was really worried when he breaks down, starts crying that
about
no one will
moving to a new
no one will be able to
place.
understand him, whatever. Yep. Yeah, exactly. But it wasn't like that. I love the writing, especially with the Pa, because it was like he was definitely a deep thinker, or whatever. But it was like blue collar. It never like went. The writing didn't get unrealistic to where all of a sudden he's giving like this Plato-esque speech or whatever. It was always just like blue collar, down the earth advice
But it was always good advice.
Yeah, exactly. It was advice that you knew that he picked up from living 60 plus years or whatever. It was. Yeah, he was. Whenever the grandpa talked, I fucking listened because I felt it was such good scenes that I felt you feel like he's your fucking grandpa talking to you at times. But yeah, I really like those scenes a lot.
So let's talk about this. What do you see as far as awards? Do you think this is Oscar worthy?
This is gonna be
What do you think it'll go up for?
Best cinematography.
Absolutely, I agree with that one.
And I think this is best picture worthy.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying it's just got that perfect combination of things to be a best picture. I'm not saying it is the best picture, but it's right up the Oscars alley to be like, yeah, we got to put this thing up. Yeah, I see it. I don't see. Of course, most likely Judi Dench will probably get an Oscar nomination for this. If she's in a film, she's got to
get the nod at this point.
But I mean, does she not deserve it for best supporting actress?
I mean, she did a really good job in this.
I don't know if she deserves it to win, but I think she deserves to get a nomination for sure.
I think that's fair.
I see that.
She's 86 now.
I know, dude.
It's so sad. I hate thinking about that.
I know. So weird because we just did the James Bond series and like even from going from James Bond to now, she looks. I mean, even in this film, obviously she was meant to look older, but she just looks older anyway. Yeah, she's 80 fucking 6. It's hard to hide at that point.
It is.
Still a babe.
May she live till 100. She is still a babe. Which is fun. I don't know how you're able at 86 to look that good, but she does somehow.
She does a great job. Yeah,
she's a beautiful woman. That's for sure.
Yeah, and she just does roles that it seems like she cares about these days too.
Yep.
Like this would be a great fucking movie to act in.
Yeah, I definitely wonder what she's gonna do down the road. I wonder if she'll do anything else.
Yeah, I don't think she's got any plans to retire.
She plays Granny as the official. It's Granny, which is funny because that's what I call my grandma is Granny.
Well, Karen Hines plays Pops. He's got no name, just Pops.
Yeah, it's just Pops. Yeah, she's just Granny.
And then the dad, Jamie Dornan, is just Pa. Buddies. That's how they're all in the credits too. Pa, Pop, Granny.
So Judi Dench's only film coming up is a film called Hallelujah. Richard Eyre is directing that. It's a story of a geriatric ward in a small Yorkshire hospital threatened with closure.
That's perfect for her. She's pretty geriatric at this point. But yeah, I think she's a one film a year kind of gal these days.
Yeah, I think it's a little hard.
She's not The Rock doing 9 movies a month. She's slowed down for sure. But if you ever get the chance, go and look at a picture of her when she was younger. Oh my God, dude, she was a fucking bombshell. Her and it's weird to say, but her and Betty White. Betty White was fucking hot, dude. It's weird, yeah. But go back and look at her when she was younger. Both of those gals were probably a force in their days.
Yeah. I mean, not Judy, but the Golden Girls.
Would be amazing if Judi Dench was on the Golden Girls. It would. What a show that would have been. But yeah, the Golden Girls, Betty White's the only one living from the Golden Girls.
Yeah.
She's the last, she's the golden gal
She's
now.
the Golden Gal.
You can't pluralize it.
I think she's 99 right now.
Is
So
she?
born in 22, yeah, she's 99.
Oh, we have to get her to 100. Should be the most important thing in the world right now.
I'm going to go Betty White last photo because she's got to be looking, oh, wow, yeah, she is old.
Yeah, man, no one looks good at 99. I haven't seen a person yet.
But she's still walking around.
She still tweets and shit.
Yeah, someone's tweeting for her. She don't know how to work Twitter.
Well, she's been tweeting for a while, though. I mean, I don't know if her hands are working anymore, but...
Yeah. Wow, she really does look old. I mean, but I guess when you're 99, it makes sense. But
I would say she looks exactly her age. Which is... I don't think she looks old for 99, because I've never seen anyone look old for 99, but...
It's just crazy, though, like, from that time of you being, like, 85, 86 to 90s, it really drastically hits.
Or
like,
being born in 1922. Imagine the shit you would have seen.
She was literally an adult during World War II.
Cars were like getting going in
Yeah.
1922. I mean, and then you live for the internet. You live through 9 different wars.
So crazy.
And she's like been working steadily since like the 50s.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need to protect that old gal.
Yeah, we do.
This is getting really off subject, but when was the last movie she was in?
Betty White?
Yeah.
It might have been that comedy film years back, dude.
The one with Ryan Reynolds?
It had to have been. Had to have been the last
Bro,
film.
2019,
No.
she voiced in Toy Story 4. She voiced Bitey White.
Oh, that's right.
And then 2019, she was in 2 movies in 2019, both voice acting.
Yeah.
Which is good, because that's the last thing that really goes is your voice.
Right.
But yeah, she's been only doing voice acting since 2012.
Which, makes sense. That's so crazy. You can literally go back to like Betty White videos in 73 and 50s. Like, that's just wild. She's had a long fucking career.
Yeah. She has a role from 1939 and has title unknown, role unknown. Like the movie's just been lost in time. Yeah. Oh
God.
The story she could tell, though,
I
my
know.
God, of Hollywood through the ages, through the decades, the shit she must
The
have seen some
bullshit she had to go
horrible shit she must have seen. Yeah, I can only imagine. But all right, Mason, Belfast.
Belfast, yes.
Would you recommend it?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it was great. I went and saw this with my sister, and we were listening to music and stuff on the way. We're all talking, and then after the film, I go, I just need to sit here in silence and process this, because it was really good. And it's a simple story, but it was impactful for me, and I really felt that sense of family. Like, and it brought me back to when I was that age, and I had conversations like that with my grandparents that aren't alive anymore. So it was, I don't know, it brought like I don't know, if you were brought there as an audience, like for me, it was super powerful. So I enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was just a very warming and like cozy film, even though the subject matter is pretty dark. But I left it, I don't know, feeling good, even though it leaves kind of on a sour, and not a sour note, but the family's together. That's the only thing that really mattered at the end. But it left with them leaving their hometown or whatever. But like you said, when I left, it's one of those films that stuck with me past leaving the theater. Like, I was thinking about it. Even today, I'm still fucking thinking about it. But yeah, I would definitely recommend it. It's just a great family film. I feel like anyone can go and see this.
Yeah, for
You
sure.
can take your kids to see it. There's not There's no brutality of people dying or anything like that.
I'd say the only thing, if I'm being honest, is at times it was hard for me to understand what they were saying. Sometimes
Irish,
and it was
Northern
rare.
Irish, yeah.
For most times I understood, but there were certain times like where it got dramatic or something, and she'd like kind of whisper something that I didn't know.
To me, it was the kind of thing where I got better at it as the film went on, but they got to do that, man. I mean, imagine.
Oh, for sure, it's authentic.
I mean, realistically, if you went to Northern Ireland and that part of Belfast, you probably wouldn't be able to understand anything they're saying. So they did a good job of doing half and half to where. But yeah, the next time I'll watch it, I'll probably watch it with subtitles on just to get the full effect of what they're saying. Especially the grandpa, because when the grandpa talks, you don't want to miss a word.
No.
You get that old grandpa knowledge, it's the best knowledge around, brother.
It is. Absolutely is.
But yeah, recommend it in theaters now. I can't tell you if it's the better UK film because I haven't seen Spencer yet. I just got a feeling I'm probably going to like this one a little bit more.
Yeah, I could assume so. Alrighty, well, that is our review for Belfast. If you like what you've seen here, please be sure to smash that like button, comment below, subscribe to the channel, and hit that bell notification as we drop videos here every single day. Thank you so much for watching and listening. My name is Mason Knight. That is Cash Krause, and until next time.
Bye.